Imagine restoring your family's old cabin for peace and quiet, only to discover your HOA president has secretly reserved it for 100 strangers. She handed out flyers, promised lake access, and even sold spots, all without asking you. But when her big day came, I locked the gate and let her lies destroy her. The cabin was supposed to be my escape, a place built by my grandfather and tucked deep in the woods beside a quiet lake. I had restored it piece by piece, sealing memories into every wall. An iron gate guarded the entrance, giving me the privacy I craved. But peace in that neighborhood was never simple. The HOA treated every property as if it belonged to them, and their leader, known by everyone as Karen, believed she had the power to claim anything. That illusion became undeniable one weekend, when I discovered she had chosen my family's sanctuary as the centerpiece of her next community stunt. The first clue came in the form of tire tracks at my gate. I thought nothing of it until a neighbor casually mentioned the big gathering scheduled at my cabin. My confusion turned to shock when I discovered the flyers. Karen had promised 100 guests a full day at the lake, complete with parking, food, and overnight lodging inside my cabin. She had used my land as bait, spinning lies to elevate her reputation. I had never agreed to anything, yet she acted as if silence was consent. As I held one of her flyers in my hand, I felt both disbelief and anger rising. The morning of the supposed event, I stepped outside to find chaos already blooming. My driveway was cluttered with folding chairs, tables, and decorations her helpers had dumped on the property. Even balloons swayed from my mailbox, mocking my ownership. Calmly, I pushed everything back onto the roadside and locked the gate tight. Within an hour, cars started to arrive, filling the street. Families stepped out, puzzled as they rattled the locked iron gate. Their faces searched for a party that didn't exist. Then Karen appeared, her SUV polished, her expression smug. She strutted toward the gate, believing authority alone could force me to submit. Karen stood before the restless crowd, arms raised like a performer before her audience. She declared that the host would arrive shortly and urged patience. My blood boiled as I watched her invent lies with ease. Children whined, parents muttered, and still she clung to the image of control. When she finally grabbed the gate and realized it wouldn't open, her mask cracked. I stepped into view on the porch, holding up my property deed for everyone to see. Silence swept the group, broken by murmurs and glances. Karen's confident smile wavered, her authority slipping like sand through her fingers. Frustration spread quickly. Guests turned on Karen, demanding explanations and even refunds. They had trusted her promises, and now suspicion replaced excitement. I leaned against the gate in silence, letting her lies unravel on their own. The truth was undeniable. She had never asked permission, never booked the property, never even considered I might refuse. She had built her scheme on arrogance, assuming I would yield under pressure. But instead of control, she was facing laughter. The sound grew, sharp and humiliating, as people mocked her downfall. Karen's voice cracked as she tried to regain control, but the damage was permanent. Desperation twisted her behavior. Karen shouted threats, claiming the HOA could fine me for blocking a community event. But her words only deepened her embarrassment as cameras rolled, guests recording every shriek and wild accusation. Within minutes, those clips spread across local social media, portraying her as the tyrant she truly was. Families left in disgust, muttering about betrayal, while others lingered just to watch the meltdown. I stayed silent, arms crossed, the locked gate between us. Karen's screams grew hoarse, her image shattered beyond repair. The aftermath hit her like a storm. Neighbors whispered about the fiasco, and those once loyal to her distanced themselves quickly. Rumors of stolen reservation fees circulated, and questions about her leadership intensified. The HOA board, once her shield, called an emergency meeting to review her actions. For the first time, Karen was outnumbered. Her grip on the community slipped as members turned against her. Meanwhile, I enjoyed quiet evenings on the porch, the lake calm, the crickets singing. Even neighbors who had avoided me now came forward with apologies, admitting they had been misled by her manipulations. In a final desperate move, Karen filed a complaint, accusing me of denying common land. But the deed I had held up, along with the viral videos of her scheme, destroyed her claims. The board dismissed her instantly, stripping her of her presidency and her power. The neighborhood slowly began to heal, free from her constant control. I kept the gate locked, not from spite, but as a symbol of boundaries no one could cross. The cabin remained what it had always been. My family's sanctuary, untouchable and safe. Karen's public collapse became a story neighbors whispered, a warning against arrogance. With Karen gone, the neighborhood shifted into a new rhythm. The HOA, once feared, became cautious, almost timid in its decisions. Meetings were quieter, focused on real issues instead of power plays. Neighbors who had once stayed silent began to speak freely, relieved that her grip had been broken. Some even approached me with stories of how she had bullied them into paying unnecessary fees or attending unwanted events. Piece by piece, her manipulations came to light, exposing just how deep her control had run. As for me, the cabin finally became what it was meant to be, a private refuge untouched by arrogance. The locked gate remained, not as a barrier, but as a reminder that respect for boundaries could never again be ignored. This was just one of many wild neighborhood stories. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit subscribe and turn on the bell, because here at QZ Stories, we bring you the craziest tales of revenge, justice, and neighborhood drama every week. Don't miss the next one.